tournament, I did whatever, and we're looking over here. So there's things that rob our capacity every given day. Weather, rain, like one of my players called me the other day, goes, I just couldn't get the speeds down. It didn't matter what I did. I looked at it, I walked it off, I did everything right. I could not. I left 4 balls in the center cut. And earlier in the week, I was putting out of my line. I could not get the speeds down. Well, he started getting frustrated by he couldn't get his speeds down. So what do you think is going to happen to his overall performance when he starts getting frustrated that he can't get his speeds down? It starts going down. Okay? Why does it go down? Because he starts searching. He starts going into internal mechanisms and trying to figure out why his speed's off. He's talking to his caddy. Well, does the ball position look right? Does my rhythm look good? And instead of still having an external focus, he's pulling back. Last year on the web tour, I had a young guy shoot 58. And so I'm having this conversation with him, and he shot 58, 64, 63, 62 to win by 8. He had his week. And I was talking to him about this as going into the year, and I said, your capabilities, your overall, I said, have you ever maximized in the moment your capability with your capacity? Have you ever matched it 100%? He goes, no. I said, you shot 58 on the web. You shot 64, 63, 62 to win by 8. He goes, yeah, but there were still shots I missed. I didn't even really hit my 3-wood. Does that make sense? But where we get in trouble is when we overvalue what's missing today. So what I want an athlete to do is walk out on the course and go, well, this is what I got today. Versus going, oh my God, I ain't got that. Or so-and-so's getting the, Rory, every time he hits, it's 330. So what if you're 290? Putter, it's like, well, I just missed a 5-footer. So what? Maximize the fact that you still have 80% of your capacity to meet the demand of the moment versus the 20% you're missing. And my challenge for great athletes is how far down in your capacity can you go and still dominate? Every athlete trains to fix problems with the idea that they're going to be perfect and meet the demands of the moment with this perfect scenario. I want to empower them by believing that they can do it at 50%, 40%. You go, I don't believe that. All right, why do underdogs win? Which side of the game are they playing? An underdog. What side of this chart are they playing on? Over here. They know they've lost this battle. But athletes that are trying to use today to prove the underall ability, they're always lost. Always. So when I get a call from a player, it's like, I know I'm better than that. And my question is, better at what? Well, I know I have that shot. So you're over here. So I'll give you another example. So this happened twice, 2 days in a row. LPGA player, elite PGA player. And they're both working on chipping. Okay? So the elite PGA player, we're talking, he goes, I don't like tight lies. I don't like tight Bermuda lies. And he said, but I should be able to hit this shot. I should be able to take my sand wedge, I should be able to hit it, one stop it, up out of the hole. I said, well, you got 10 feet to cover over the Bermuda, and then it's got 15 feet to the hole. He said, yeah. I said, if you were sitting on the 72nd hole of Sawgrass this year, what are you going to do here? He said, what am I going to do, or what should I do? I said, what are you going to do? He goes, I'm going to putt it. I said, why are you going to putt it? He goes, because I lead the tour on distance control from extended distances as a putter. I said, yeah, but that's not what you're sitting here telling me. He said, you're telling me that you should hit that sand wedge. And he said, it's funny you would say that. He said, I would actually have a conversation with my caddy. He looked me in the eyes and he said, you're a dumbass, putt it. And he said, I putt it. But then I get upset that I'm cheating myself in the moment. Versus going, what's my strength? I can roll the putt beautifully and get it right next to the hole. Tap in, win the tournament, I'm done. Well, the LPGA player said the same thing. She said, I was playing a money game and I'm learning this new shot, and the moment came where I needed to get up and down and make birdie to win the big pot. And she goes, I've been working my ass off on this skill. And instead I stepped back and I went, no, I'm just going to putt it and get it up near the hole because that's where I'm most comfortable. She goes, I won the money. I said, at the end of the day, does it matter? You won. But instead, when we're competing over here, we're so caught up on what I should do versus what I did do. And what I try to empower athletes to understand is, in the moment, what did you have? Well, I didn't have my driver today, so I went with my cut off the tee and I just kept putting it in the fairway. What did you do on that dog leg that went right to left? I hit my cut right out the center and I hit a longer iron in and I was fine. Oh, so you didn't keep trying to hit a driver to prove you can hit the driver in the moment. What do you think happens in Aimpoint? They learn it and people walk out. You remember the learning curve. The first thing's honeymoon, Everybody gets real pumped and then they go into the fog where they overcomplicate. That's why you're creating confusion to find the mastery out of it. What happens is people start going into it and they're like, I've got this new skill, let me show you. Capability. Yes, that's important. We should invest in that daily. But if you're not teaching them drills to maximize their capacity, you're selling them short. You gotta make them uncomfortable, you gotta make them compete. Our buddy who's the Navy SEAL, who's the big Aimpoint, loves Aimpoint, he's like, you gotta compete every day, it pays to be a winner. They're not training that. They're training that. They know they won that game already. But they got a belief inside themselves. In the book, I talk about the mountain of belief and the cloud of doubt. It's a fact that comes down to, is a buddy I was talking to who's climbed Mount Everest. I take that back. He's tried to climb Mount Everest 4 times, been taken off the mountain twice for medical, and once for an earthquake and once for an avalanche. And he's like, I'm gonna get to the top. And he said, when you're climbing, you're miserable. You hate yourself. You're up there for 9 weeks, you spent $70,000, and every step, you're like, what the hell am I doing? That's the doubts. And he said, instead of fighting it, you just look back and go, next step, I can do this. Well, that's this. That's capacity. So as teachers, we gotta look at it from a perspective, are you training capability or are you training capacity? There's times for both. But if we're ignoring and assuming that this is just gonna take care of itself, then those are the players that figure it out. Those are the underdogs. That's why over here, when a player's got the flu, they know they don't have much. They don't care the fact that they're not hitting the towering drives or the long putts. They're just trying to survive without vomiting. Or when they're hungover, okay? So, does that make sense? Are we trying to, okay, so what develops this? Resiliency. Well, how do we train resiliency? Well, a knife that has never gone against a cutting board or never gone against a sharpening stone is not as sharp as it could be. It has to create friction in order to get sharper. That's how you create resiliency. In the moment, looking at the situation and going, I got this. I've gotten harder, I've gotten better. I want to go through something here, it's in the book as well. There's 5 ways to evaluate any bad outcome. Ready? Number 1 is bad preparation. You didn't prepare properly. So an athlete goes, man, you know what? I didn't spend a whole lot of time on the greens this week getting the speed down. I didn't do my foundational work. I didn't do my mechanical work. I didn't do my Humpty Dumpty when I got out to the course. One of my athletes told, that to me would be a drill that would be fantastic to do the day before a tournament. It's fun, it's engaged, it's light. You're gonna walk out of there feeling better. It's called a 9-ball drill. It's not the traditional 9-ball drill. Player texted me last night and goes, that thing rocks. I get out on the range, my caddy's already got it set it up. He's like, we're doing that 9-ball again. Because he said it engages my mental game to work on different shots and I get really pissed off. But when I can run it 9 out of 10, he goes, I know we're gonna have a good week. He's teaching resiliency, how to face the fire and fight through it. Grit is similar to the same thing as resiliency. But one of the things that you have to understand about resiliency is that we have to have an inner belief that we will be okay in any environment we're in. So if a player is putting poorly during the course of a round, I don't want them to abandon ship, but instead I want them to say, wait a minute here, I have prepared myself. So great preparation is important. So sometimes we can look back at it and go, we didn't prepare right. Second, we had bad strategy. I tried to be more aggressive on my putts, I abandoned what I was doing, whatever. I want to have great strategy, but bad outcomes, bad strategy sometimes. Bad execution. Sometimes we do everything right and we just execute poorly. We just execute poorly. So, I was interested in watching the end of the RSM last year. Billy Horschel had, what, a 2-footer to tap in to advance in the playoff? He just missed it. Flat out missed it. He's like, well, I didn't go through my routine. Fact was, how many 2-footers does he hit in his life that he just walked up and raked it in? He just flat out missed it. Bad execution. 4, bad middle game. You couldn't let go of a pass putt. You step over a 3-footer and you go, oh man, I missed a 3-footer 2 holes ago. I got to make this. You walk up, you got to clear the mind, you got to hit the shot. That's capacity. It doesn't matter what I'm able to do. It matters what I can do right now. And the 5th one is bad luck. You do everything right, and you just, crap, it hit a spike mark. Or you hit a great drive, as one of my players told me, he goes, last week I hit a sprinkler head on the left side of the fairway and it careened into a bush and I had to take it unplayable. He goes, I can't hit the fairway any better than what I did. He said, I actually hit my spot in the fairway off the tee ball. He's like, it's just not my week. He goes, what did you do? He goes, I just looked at it and turned to my buddy and I said, my caddy, I said, all right guys, this is gonna be a tough day. So let's see what we got. They turned it out pretty good. That's a mental mindset. Any of those 5 personal? No. They're all correctable. And if you have a great system behind you, what do? Say, bad part, well, you know what? I didn't do my speed work. I didn't do my point. That's fine. I can fix that for the next time. I don't have to beat myself up about it, but I just come back to it. That's maximizing capacity. Now, a couple things here. What robs capacity? Fears, doubts, insecurities. Factors beyond your control. So weather. If you play in the British Open, one wave will have great weather and one wave will have terrible weather. And certain players like Sergio Garcia used to think it was unfair that God kept giving Tiger Woods the better draw. Okay? He's already lost when he steps up on the tee. So what robs capacity? Fears, doubts, insecurities, and things that are just beyond your control. But instead, it's like somebody said something about me tweeting about being on the airplane on Sunday. I love to watch people and how they treat gate agents when their flights are delayed. Why? Why are you berating the person that can actually help you? Because if I'm that gate agent, I'm going to look at you and I'm going to go, I think Tuesday's a great day to get out of town, Joe. Hope you enjoy it. Okay? I'm sorry, I just can't do that. To me, it's like, what can you do about it? It's like the pilot gets off and goes, I'm sorry, I don't feel comfortable flying the plane. Why do people get pissed? If the pilot who is in charge of your safety goes, okay. By the way, think about flyers, pilots. Which side are they when they're carrying you? They're on this side. Their capacity. So my airplane the other day, 4-hour delay because of massive thunderstorms and tornadoes in Birmingham. Fine, we don't need to go up in the air and play around with those storms. And then the first general aviation aircraft that landed that had been circling, when it hit the runway, it slammed on its brakes and popped all its tires. Shut down the only main runway in Birmingham. So now the pilots are looking, because there was a bunch of pilots that were getting jacked out to go out, and they looked at it and they went, oh, we're going to be here a while. Problem is, Birmingham is a short runway that is between 2 mountains, 2 hills. Birmingham's at the base of the Blue Ridge Mountains, so we have some hills. Well, 4 years ago, a UPS aircraft came in the fog and didn't clear the last hill and crashed and killed the pilot and the co-pilot and everything you'd ordered from Amazon. And Southwest Airlines is not allowed to use that runway unless it's an emergency, because it's too short. So next thing they do, they start taking fuel off the plane. The pilot starts making phone calls. Hey, listen, we're going to be here till 9, 10 o'clock at night, and we're going to disrupt a lot. Can we get up? They gave him an approval. What they said was unprecedented, that he had figured out something to do to get us out. And the whole time I'm thinking, just please, God, get us into Orlando before those tornadoes hit. So I think those tornadoes, we kind of caught them in the air and landed. But they're maximizing capacity in the moment. They train to increase their capability. They perform to maximize capacity. Those that struggle try to take this to validate that. They worry about limitations instead of opportunities. They overvalue doubts, fears, and insecurities. Why? Because that's the brain's job. The brain wants to overvalue doubts, fears, and insecurities. I'm doing some research right now with some neurocognitive specialists who study the brain in competitive environments and how it perceives across the visual, the decisional making in the brain, and the motor cortex, and how those 3 interact, and they're doing it in other sports. We're looking at it in golf. It should be pretty fascinating if we can pull it together. And we were talking the other day, and they said, you got to understand that mechanism in the brain is what keeps us alive. It's great for everything in this world except for one thing, sports. Because once we make a mistake, the brain goes into hyperdrive to prevent future mistakes, and you have to hack the system. So you miss a 3-footer, now your heart rate's up, the cortisol's starting to squirt, you're having problems, stress, everything's picking up. You got to go, slow it down, let's get back, and you got to change the brain to get in that moment. Well, if you've never experienced any competition, the first time you do it, the novelty of it, the brain's going to go, oh my God, this is really crazy, this is really fearful, and you can't do it. But if you've done it, it's like, look, I've done this drill. Well, elite football teams, elite basketball, their practices are harder than their games for that exact reason. Golfers, their practice is never harder than their competition. What does the golfer do? Let's go play 9 in practice. The first hole they tee off, and then by midway down through the first 9, they're like, hey, what's up? How you doing? Good. Oh wait, roll that back to me. Let me hit it again. They've already short-circuited themselves. Well, I have games when I send them out on the golf course, is if you drop another ball, it better be because you knocked it in the woods or the water. Okay? Own it. That's maximizing capacity. Perform to maximize capacity. Think about rock stars. I was listening to John Legend the other night. He was doing an interview. It was an older interview, and it was fascinating. And the interview was Howard Stern. I love Howard Stern's interviews. His interviews are incredible. The rest of the show I don't care about, but his interviews are incredible. And he said, "Do you ever make a mistake when you're on stage?" He goes, "Oh yeah, I hit the wrong keys all the time. It's just how you sell it." You tell that to a golfer, "Oh God, I'm never gonna hit a bad drive." Yeah, the greatest musicians in the world, they miss keys. They miss a note. They don't sit there and go, "Oh my God, excuse me, can we do that again? Again, I want to start that song." They just sell it. I've been to concerts where the singers forgot the damn words. And then they go, "Sing it, y'all." And everybody thinks it's funny as hell, okay? That's why I love body language. Body language is not necessarily something that will create a whole lot of change, but what will create a lot of change is bad body language. When you're down like this and you don't believe, stand up and believe in it. And even if it's a bad day, take it. Like I have a rule for my junior golfers. If you're DFL, you sit till everybody's finished at the golf tournament. If you are the last, why? Because I guarantee if you shoot a course record, you're not going to leave early either. So you better be able to handle the bad if you can handle the good. And if somebody walks up to you and goes, "What happened to you today?" You go, "I just had a bad day." "Well, you had a good day." Learn to be in that position. So devalue the result, because really what's happening is they're trying to get that result to prove this overall ability. College coaches that are in here, look for this. Don't get caught up on how far they hit irons. Don't get anything else. Look for gamers. Seattle Seahawks, half of their roster is undrafted, and they assess based on competitiveness. They look for high competitive environments and high competitive athletes. 5-star athletes, work at Alabama. I was asking one of my players the other day, I said, "How many 5-stars came in your class, including you?" 5. "How many are still here?" 3. Maybe 2. I said, "Why did the others leave?" "Couldn't do it in the moment. They look great, soft as hell." "How many 3-stars are starting?" 4. Whew, what happened? "Well, when we have a chip on our shoulder, we're maximizing this." Being great is tough. It's a challenge. But when you've got somebody who's got high capability with a high capacity to match, you got a superstar. You've got Jason Day, you've got Tiger Woods, you've got Rory McIlroy, you've got Lexi Thompson when she's on her game. You've got a lot of the extraordinarily talented Korean golfers. They can do great things, but they know how to maximize it in the moment. All right, yes?
Capacity. Okay, so we talked a lot about what capacity is, what it's supposed to be, and so on. And we talked a lot about how we're supposed to train and so on. But at the end of the day, you've got a golfer there. You've got an athlete, you've got a person with a mind, body, central nervous system, and so
Sure.
on. And teaching, and this can be done, it's not always just one-on-one with better players. It can be done in blocks and whatever with juniors and so on. But to teach that individual, understand how they think, and how they play, and what their game is. Because there's all different kinds of play. But most golfers don't understand how they play.
No, that you're right,
Most
100%.
golfers really don't understand how they think. They're told how they're supposed to think. They're told that, but they don't. No one bothers to explain to them what is that process. What are those chemicals? Like, if you think you're not going to make that shot, you're not going to make that shot because you already told yourself you're not going to.
Correct.
But what is happening inside your brain to let them understand that this is not the path that they should go down? And is that just something that? I mean, I do it as part of what I do, but when you're working with larger groups and when you're working with your individual players, how do you transfer that knowledge to them? So again, they make those.
You don't transfer it to them. You inspire them to start becoming self-discoverers and finding it on their own. And the only way to do it is by journaling and reflection. And you're going to tell 10 and 1 will do it, 9 won't. Then the next, it's like meditation. Yeah, 100%. So you encourage them and you say, well, what does journaling look like? And I've got a guy on tour who's got a book and it says, "My book, don't touch." And it's all wrapped up, it's in his golf bag, he carries it with him. We'll be on the range, he'll be sitting Indian style, and he's taking notes about what he just went through when he gets really, really thick. Why? Because he reviews and reflects. He is the last guy you ever think has the psychological maturity to look in his book. And he does it every day. And for me, it's like, there was a great quote, or there's a great picture of Brandon Marshall in the NFL last year sitting on the sideline with a book, writing notes during the middle of the game. He's taking notes. There's psychological understanding, it's called implicit learning, which is the ability to learn on the fly as you're going along with evidence. So, you know, if I realized that I'm having this, we're talking and right here, my mic doesn't work, am I the guy who keeps standing right here because my mic doesn't work and I'm like, I have no idea? Or am I the guy that moves over here very quickly and realizes that the mic works better over here and I learn how to present better? And so golfers have to look at it and go, you know, I've missed every drive on the right side of a fairway today. So how am I making an adjustment? Well, if they don't know, if they don't take that day, there's not, the biggest mistake we have in athletes come back and say, oh, I tried that and I failed. No, you didn't fail. Okay? You either succeed or you learn. And there is no failing, there's missing. So if you miss, you still have an opportunity. The line I always use, and it's true, is that they don't play for the Iraqi national soccer team. That goalie got beheaded because he gave a goal at the wrong time. These golfers, they wear, why? Because why are they so embarrassed? Because they doubt their underlying capability. I want y'all to understand that. They doubt this. They doubt if you listen to their words, and if you make it write it down, they'll catch it very quickly. One of my players texted me the other day and goes, I'm going to use it. I finally fucking believe. I'm like, yes, thank you. He goes, I believe in who I am. He goes, I want to play so much now. I don't want to take weeks off. I'm like, we'll talk about energy conservation later. He's like, I am so excited. If I have a bad day, if I miss a cut, I don't care. I just want to go play because I'll go play a money game on Saturday. Because I know I got it. It just wasn't my week. But how does he know that? He did tons of reflection and understood the triggers that robbed this side for him. A lot of that was validation. Same guy Ron on the golf course a couple weeks ago, and he's hitting shots and he's trying to squeeze everything out of a certain iron to get to a certain hole. And I finally said, why don't you go down? He goes, I just want to be able to prove I can hit it that far. I'm like, you're leaving it 20 feet short. And he goes, yeah, I know. I said, hit the other one. He goes, I take away all the problem. He goes, I hit 8 feet. He goes, I'm in the top 10 on tour on putting. Yeah, I said, exactly. This year he's been plus 5.5 in the wraparound seasons 3 times in one round of golf. Putting. That's pretty good. Okay? Plus 5.5. 3 times. Okay?
Doc,
Yeah.
do you have them share what they write in their journal?
Sometimes.
Or is it so personal that you don't?
Sometimes I have athletes send me voice messages. So when Blackburn and I were working with some clients, I'd have them send voice messages. And it was 3 things you did well today, 3 things you didn't do well, 3 ways you're going to improve moving forward. And the reason was to keep the team all on the same page. And we made the caddy do the same thing so that we could hear a different perspective and see what was accurate. Sometimes I look at it and I go, you know what? You know, for other instructors I work with, the players are like, I don't need to send anything, I'm fine, I got it. But others, I got to make them do that. It depends on the player. Some are unbelievably self-aware. Some have a very short-term memory, which is really good. That's very helpful to let go of the bad, but they don't learn from the bad very often. So they repeat their patterns. It depends on each.
Is this in your book?
Very little, but I'll send the PDF out. It'll probably be in the next one. Because what happened was I started talking to clients and it started resonating. Yeah. What's he said? That was good sales? Yeah. Pre-orders start tomorrow. Reality, yeah.
Come on, way.
Yeah.
The reality of the thing is, someone just has to happen.
Some people aren't very good. Yeah.